Welcome back, guys, to the Andrei podcast. Today, been a long time I didn't talk about football, soccer, but now with the Champions League, both games were crazy. But let's not lie, Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid, that was fucking haram ball. That's pure haram ball. And if we're being honest, not Atletico Madrid, but PSG playing against Bayern in the semifinals, amazing. Both games were phenomenal, were really amazing. That is the best level of football we can currently have in the world. But if we're being honest, those semifinals should have been the finals. Because I'm sorry, all my Arsenal fans, ADC, I know you're an Arsenal fan. I fucking respect you. I love you. But Arsenal being in the Champions League final is fucking crazy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's a fucking fact. Arsenal shouldn't be playing in the Champions League final. PSG versus Bayern would have been a perfect Champions League final. Even, if I might add, if I might even be even more bold in my claims and my takes, PSG versus Real Madrid as a final would have been better than PSG Arsenal. PSG against Barcelona would have been better. PSG against Man City would have been better. PSG against Bayern would have been better than Arsenal. Arsenal, yes, they're playing phenomenal this season, but it's pure haram ball. It's boring football. It's shit football. It's fucking boring. How they made it to the Champions League final, I don't know. A bit of luck, let's not lie, because if Arsenal would have faced PSG or Bayern Munich in the Champions League semifinals, they would have lost by 1,000 miles. And guys, also, let me add, this final, PSG versus Arsenal, if you want easy money, if you want to make quick money and easy money, bet all of your money on PSG, because there's no way, there's no chance on God's green earth that Arsenal can win or are going to win. It's impossible. There's no chance. There's more chances of me flying tomorrow because I drank a Red Bull than of Arsenal winning the Champions League final against PSG. There's no chance. Not only will they lose, they will get purely humiliated by PSG. Clip it, book it, place your bet. I'm telling you, it's easy money. If you're looking... Even if you're not a football fan, if you're just someone random looking to make a quick buck, looking to make some money on the side, place a bet that PSG are going to win against Arsenal. More than 2-0, more than 3-0, because it's going to happen. PSG are completely going to dominate Arsenal, and they're going to destroy Arsenal in the Champions League final. Talking about football and all of this, like it or not, man, this UCL showed us something. Lucho Enrique, as I've been saying since 2015, 11 years ago I've been saying this. When I was 15 years old, I was a pure footballing IQ genius is what I was, and I still am. Lucho Enrique is one of the greatest managers of all time. I've been saying it since 2015, and now there's no more debating it. He is one of the greatest managers to ever exist. Lucho Enrique. He's going to have three Champions League trophies, one with Barca and two with PSG. And if we're being honest, in my opinion, like I said in 2015, and I'll say it now in 2026, just before the Champions League final, Lucho Enrique's style of football is the most beautiful style of football to exist on planet fucking Earth. It's interesting, it's entertaining, there's magic, there's offense, there's midfield buildup, there's creativity, there's good passes, there's ball control, there's finishing, there's dribbling, there's skills, there's magic. It's joga bonito, but more smart. Meaning that, yes, he allows these amazing players to play phenomenal football, but at the same time, you have to keep possession of the ball, you have to defend, and you have to be smart. It's not a playground. I mean, in a way, it is a playground, but he found the perfect mix of, let's say, Spanish football, German football, and Brazilian football. He mixed it all up, and he created perfect football. Like I said, 2011 Barca is probably the greatest team of all time. And the reason why, fucking like it or not, you have Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets all in their prime. Dani Alves, probably the greatest right back of all time in his prime. Puyol, Piqué in their prime. Abidal in his prime. Valdez in his prime. David Villa and Pedro in their prime. The team is fucking crazy. But I've always said this. 2011 Barca and 2015 Barca are the two greatest Barcas of all time. And in my opinion, I prefer 2015 Barca. Probably also because of biases. because I really fucking love Neymar. I mean, Messi's my favorite player of all time. But after Messi, it's Neymar. I fucking love Neymar, and everyone knows it, right? But if I go unbiased, maybe 2011 is a bit slightly better than 2015. 2015, in my opinion, is more entertaining and is funner to watch than 2011. 2011 was pure tiki-taka with Pep Guardiola, pure tiki-taka. Like fucking peak tiki-taka 2011 Barca, right? The final against Man United. Man United didn't touch the ball, not even for fucking more than 2 minutes in a row, right? It's crazy tiki-taka. But 2015 Barca, when they won the Champions League, with MSN, Messi, Suarez, Neymar up front, Iniesta, Rakitic, Busquets in the middle, Dani Alves, Piqué, and Jordi Alba, and who was fucking the other, Mascherano as center back with Piqué. Yo, that team, wow, the magic. When Neymar and Messi linked up front, and then Suarez, I started hating on Suarez after starting 2017. He started getting slower, fatter, less decisive, and just fucking wasting balls. But in his prime, his last year at Liverpool and his first year at Barca, which is 2015 Barca, he was fucking nominal. And Messi and Neymar were fucking disgustingly good and beautiful that year. Phenomenal. 2015 Barca and 2011 Barca are the two greatest 11s of all time. And then you can have a Real Madrid Galacticos, or maybe the 3-peat Champions League with Zidane, an AC Milan team, a Bayern Munich team. But the two greatest teams of all time are two Barca teams, and it's 2011 Barca and 2015 Barca. And 2015 Barca, it's Lucho Ball, it's Lucho Enrique. He is personally my favorite manager of all time, Lucho Enrique. And in my opinion, he's easily top 5 managers of all time. And now he'll prove it. He's going to be winning his 3rd Champions League trophy. And he's going to win it easily. That's who Lucho Enrique is. And also, Lucho Enrique had a really sad past. Rest in peace to his daughter. She died really, really young. He's keeping a really positive mindset. I'm really happy for him, and I wish him all the best. But I'm really happy. The main reason why I want PSG to win is not because of the players. I mean, yes, I love Dembele. I always love Dembele because he's really technical, he's really gifted, and he's really talented and creative as a player, as a winger. But I never really fell in love with him as a player. Like, I fell in love with Messi, with Neymar, with Kaká, with Ronaldinho, with Iniesta, with Modric, other players. Like, I even fell more in love with Hazard than Dembele. I don't know. Dembele never really, he's really fucking talented, but I never really fell in love with him as a player. But I always fucking said how fucking talented and how phenomenal of a player he is. And he actually is. His talent is fucking crazy. So there's Dembele. Yes, I love him. Kvaradona is really fucking good. Kvaratskhelia. Barcola is playing really well. Vitinha is phenomenal. Nuno Mendes is phenomenal. They're all really, really good players. But my favorite person in that team, in the whole staff, is Lucho Enrique. That is why I'm voting for PSG. If Lucho Enrique was the manager of Bayern Munich, I would have been voting for Bayern Munich. But Lucho Enrique is the manager of PSG, and I fucking love Lucho Ball. Favorite ball is the greatest football to ever exist, Lucho Ball. And he's my favorite manager of all time and one of the greatest of all time. So that is why I want PSG to win the Champions League, and they're going to win it easily. And Lucho Enrique, man, what a manager. What a fucking manager. And this Champions League, these past 2-3 years, has proved to the world what I've been saying about Lucho Enrique since 2015. After that, what happened? Of course, the players fucking, what's his fucking face? Suarez started playing like shit, and all these players weren't performing anymore. Rakitic after 2015 wasn't the same Rakitic in 2015. Rakitic was phenomenal. So he was in the 2018 World Cup. He was also phenomenal. As he was in 2015, he was phenomenal. One of the greatest midfielders in the world in 2015. He was. But after that, he was playing like shit. Mascherano was nowhere to be found. Iniesta was getting older. Busquets was still phenomenal. Messi and Neymar were still phenomenal. The defense was lacking. The goalkeeper wasn't the best anymore, like Ter Stegen. Before, he was really good with Claudio Bravo, but then they were lacking. So basically, after 2015, it was only Busquets. Iniesta, yes, he was a bit older, but still he played really well. Iniesta a little bit here and there. Busquets, Messi, and Neymar. Okay, let's not say Iniesta a little bit here and there because Iniesta is a fucking legend. Those 4 players, Suarez was lacking, Rakitic was lacking, Dani Alves wasn't the best anymore, Piqué was busting my balls, Mascherano was I fucking hated him after 2015. And then Jordi Alba was still playing well, like or not, he was making his runs for Messi. And then the goalkeepers were just off. And fuck, man. So that's what happened. You cannot blame necessarily Lucho Enrique for that. But hey, he was the manager. But like I said, since 2015, when I saw him manage Barcelona and the style of play that he created for that Barcelona team showed me, and I have a high footballing IQ, as you guys know, showed me that Lucho Enrique is the greatest manager in the world. Since 2015, every single year, Lucho Enrique has been the greatest manager in the world. It's just he never had the chance to prove it. With everything that happened, he went to the Spanish national team and everything else. That's another story. But that is a fact. Lucho Enrique, now, I'm so happy with this Champions League because what I've been saying for the past 11 years, it's finally going to be up in fruition. My predictions have been right. I'm so fucking happy. Just as much as my predictions for the World Cup, like I did them with Hassan and like I did them before, like in March or beginning of the year. Like I said, like I even did for the 2022 World Cup predictions, I predicted everything. Just as much as I'll predict for 2026. Again, Argentina are winning it. Messi's finishing as the best player. The top scorer is either Mbappe or Harry Kane. Book it, clip it, bet on it, do whatever you want. It's going to fucking happen because I fucking said it's going to happen. And then, of course, when it's going to happen, I'm going to be so happy, man. Imagine when Messi and Argentina are going to have 2 World Cups, man. Oh my fucking God. Cristiano Ronaldo will probably go home and cry, for being honest. Ronaldo fans, man, holy fuck. Even then, like honestly, even if Messi was to win a second World Cup, be the best player of that tournament, win the Ballon d'Or, even then some Ronaldo fans are still going to debate, well, who's better, Messi or Ronaldo? It's still up for debate, right? Let's think about it. It's still going to happen. Why? Because they're fucking dumb. Like Jamie Carragher said, like I said, and like literally everyone who knows football ever said, there's no debate and there's never been a debate between Ronaldo and Messi. You can debate between, who's better, Ronaldo or Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo or Ronaldo Fenomeno, Cristiano Ronaldo or Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo or Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Cristiano Ronaldo or Eden Hazard, but to compare him with Messi, to compare him with Ronaldinho, to compare him with Maradona, with Ronaldo. Like I said, you can compare him with Ronaldo Fenomeno, but actually you shouldn't because Ronaldo Fenomeno is miles ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo as a player. Pele, you cannot compare Ronaldo with these 5-6 players. It's impossible. They're too good for him. They're too good. But to get back what I'm saying, even if Messi wins the World Cup, becomes the best player of that tournament, and wins the Ballon d'Or, there's still going to be Ronaldo fans, Ronaldo fanboys, Ronaldo meat writers still talking about and still debating between who's the footballing GOAT, Messi or Ronaldo. I understand. Actually, I don't. I think if you guys, even now with only having 1 World Cup and everything else, even now, if you compare Messi with Ronaldo and you're a Ronaldo fan or a Messi fan, if you compare those two, you should go seek mental help because it makes no fucking sense to compare those two because the level of difference is so crazy between those two that it's like comparing Joe Rogan with me, right? It's not even comparable, right? Of course, I'm Messi and he's fucking Ronaldo. But that's what I'm saying. So even if he wins the World Cup, people are still going to be fucking debating it. But hey, people who know football, they know it's never been a debate. And it's even now currently not a debate. But also this coming World Cup, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be phenomenal. Portugal and Ronaldo, they aren't going. They're getting max to the round of 16. Argentina are winning it. It's either Argentina, Spain, or France. I think that Argentina has the most chances because, like I said, Messi is still the best player in the world. We're the 7th of May, 2026, he still is. As long as he can run, as long as he can breathe, as long as he can walk on the pitch, he'll always be the greatest player in the world. That is who Messi is. Okay, so recently there's been this petition that I don't know who started it, probably someone from Real Madrid, like a fan or a supporter or whatever. And there has been a petition to kick Mbappe out from Real Madrid. And this is the petition to have reached the most signatures in the history of football petitions. So far, it has 30 million signatures. That is actually really fucking crazy. You know, here and there, like, ever since social media exists and like these troll pages and whatever, there's always been like, petition to kick out Ronaldo from fucking Portugal or whatever. And it has like 200,000 signatures, 100,000 signatures, whatever. But to reach 30 million signatures, that's actually fucking crazy. Of course, it's not going to happen. They're not going to kick out Mbappe just because 30 million people signed it. Maybe there's a couple of bots who signed it. Who fucking knows? But it's just funny. And I'm happy, actually, that this petition exists. And I'm also really happy that it reached 30 million signatures. Why? Because, like I've been saying, since the beginning at PSG, when it was Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, people, French fans, French people, PSG fans blaming Messi and Neymar and not blaming Mbappe because, of course, because he's French. Oh my God, we love Mbappe because he's French. If you were a PSG fan at the time where Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar played together, or a French fan, or a PSG fan, or a footballing fan, and you blamed Messi or Neymar for their lack of winning trophies, you don't know shit about football. Because like I've been saying since the beginning, the problem in that squad in those years wasn't Messi or Neymar. It was Mbappe, of fucking course. Why? Because Messi and Neymar, as good as Mbappe is, and as good as he was those years, he wasn't even close to being as good as Messi or Neymar. Not even close. It's not even comparable. When all is said and done, when all three of them have retired and they're no longer playing football, no one's going to talk about Mbappe anymore. No one's going to remember Mbappe. They're going to remember Mbappe as much as they remember Thierry Henry now, right? As much as we all know who Thierry Henry is, but we don't really talk about him that much. No one really, if you were to see him on the street, you wouldn't really, you would take a picture, you wouldn't really care that much. It's going to be the same for Mbappe. But Messi and Neymar, for the rest of humanity, for the rest of footballing history, we're always going to be talking about Neymar and Messi. Always, always, and always. And that is the huge difference between Messi and Neymar, between Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. That is a huge difference. So for you to be a footballing fan and to say, oh, you know what? I actually know a lot about football. I actually watch football ever since I'm 8 years old. I have a huge footballing IQ. And for you to be a guy or to be a PSG supporter who used to say that, oh, the problem at PSG right now is Messi. The problem is Messi or Neymar. It's not Mbappe. Mbappe is doing his job perfectly. He's a fucking perfect player. He's the greatest player on planet Earth. He's French, so we fucking cocksuck him. But the problem is Messi, or the problem is Neymar. Messi, first of all, is the greatest fucking player of all time. Just the fact that Mbappe, he respected Neymar and Messi, he did to a certain degree. But in his mind, that was his team, and in his mind, he was the best player there. False. I mean, I understand Mbappe. I understand you having that ego, and it's good for you, right? To want to be the best, accomplish the most, be highly ambitious and whatever. But we're fucking talking about Messi right now. We're not talking about, let's say, Arjen Robben joined the team, and then Hazard joined the team, Vinny joined the team, whoever else, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, fucking Frank Ribéry, Mohamed Salah, who else was a winger? Gareth Bale, whoever. We're talking about Lionel Andres Messi joined the team. The greatest player of all time. He joined the fucking team. Like I said, I understand you having an ego and having high ambitions and having this sense of entitlement as you're the greatest player in the world. And you should feel that way. But then realistically, look at the squad. Look around you and say, okay, realistically, let me be... You don't even have to be humble. Just be normal. Be normal and you'll say, okay, you know what? This is fucking Lionel Messi. I'm going to take a back seat to him. He's the main guy here. He's going to take the penalties, the free kicks. He's going to dictate the game. When we have the ball, the question is always, where is Messi? That is the question. But Mbappe with his ego, that wasn't the case. And now this petition proved my point a little bit. At PSG, when it was Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, the problem wasn't Messi or Neymar. It never was Messi or Neymar. It has always been Mbappe. I've been saying it since the beginning. It's always been Mbappe. And now people are starting to see it a bit more. But that is a fucking fact. And now with everything that's happening at Real Madrid, They aren't going to win La Liga. They're not going to win the Champions League. And they're having a lot of problem in their dressing rooms between the players. Valverde getting in a fight with Tchouaméni. Players arguing between each other. Arbeloa not getting the respect he deserves. Xabi Alonso leaving the squad. Real Madrid need Mourinho. Why? Because that squad has a lot of ego. Mbappe is filled with ego. Vini is filled with ego. Tchouaméni, all these players, they're all filled with ego except for Jude Bellingham. He's a real team player. He runs for a team, defends for a team. He does his role for the team. Everything that Bellingham does on the pitch is for the team. I agree, that is who Bellingham is. But the best players, the main players are Mbappe, Vini, and Bellingham. And especially Mbappe and Vini, and even more precisely, Mbappe is the main player at Real Madrid. Mbappe and Vini have way too much ego. And it's actually, like, I understand they are two of the greatest players on planet Earth, and they are the two best players at Real Madrid. I understand them having ego, but at the same time, I'm like, Lionel Messi never had an ego. Never. He's the greatest player of all time. Mbappe isn't even 20% as good as Messi was, or as good as Mbappe. Everything Mbappe will reach and everything he will accomplish, he will never reach not even 10% of what Messi accomplished, how Messi played it, and what Messi won. Not even 10%. And he has way more ego than Lionel Messi had in his prime. That's actually kind of fucking crazy. That's why Man United, for people who don't know, Man United, at their training grounds, in their locker room, they have a picture of Messi cleaning his own boots. And the reason that they have that picture hung up is so that people, that young players or that players always remember to stay humble and to not get full of themselves and not get cocky and egoistic and just think about themselves. Because when they look at that picture, they can see Messi cleaning his own boots. The greatest player of all time cleaning his own boots. If Messi is capable of having that humbleness, having that level of being humble and being just a normal human being, who are you to not have that same level of humbleness? And even, if I might add, even be even more humble than what Messi was, because he's the fucking greatest player of all time to ever exist. So that is why Man United have a picture of Messi cleaning his own boots hung up at their dressing room. So, like I said, so that's why I understand, like, at the same time, I understand Vini and Mbappe having ego, but at the same time, it's like, broski, if Messi didn't have an ego, who the fuck are you to have an ego? You know what I mean? Like, at the same, like, it's a mix of both. Like, I understand where they're coming from. They make millions of dollars, probably two of the greatest players in the world. They're the two best players at Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world. I understand this, but at the same time, it's like, Lionel fucking Messi was the greatest of all time, and he didn't have an ego. So I'm like, you know what? You shouldn't have an ego. And that is why Real Madrid need Jose Mourinho. There's no manager, as much as I love Lucho Enrique, as much as I love all these other managers, I don't really like the style of play that Jose Mourinho has. But one thing that Jose Mourinho does better than any other manager on planet Earth is control players with big egos. No one does it better than Jose Mourinho. Why? Because he also has a big ego, calls himself the special one. He's always had a big ego, and he never had problems telling players and showing players who's the real boss. Even if that player has a big ego, he didn't care who that player is. He never had a problem to show big players with big egos who's the real boss, and he always knew how to handle players with big egos. That is why he was really good at handling Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Samuel Eto'o, and all these other players who are known to have big egos. No, there's no manager who knows better how to handle players with big egos than Jose Mourinho. And that is why now the situation that Real Madrid are in, and the players that they have currently, with Mbappe, with Vini and everything else, they need Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho can save Real Madrid, and only he can save Real Madrid, because they need a guy like Jose Mourinho who's going to come into the locker room, look at the players who have big egos, and put them in their place so that they work and run for the team. If a player, no matter how good he is, if he doesn't run and defend for the team, Jose Mourinho is going to go in a press conference and he won't be shy. He doesn't give a fuck if that's Mbappe. He doesn't give a fuck if it's Vini. He doesn't give a fuck who it is. He's going to say, he doesn't run, he's lazy, he doesn't want to defend, I'm going to take him off. Who does that? Only Jose Mourinho has those balls to take off the players, the biggest players with the biggest egos. Only Jose Mourinho can do that. That is why Real Madrid right now, they need Jose Mourinho. Like I said, as a manager, as a person, I fucking love Jose Mourinho. I love like that he looks like the coolest manager to go out and have a beer with him, to have fun with him, to talk shit. Like he looks as someone who's really cool and really entertaining to be with and talk with, right? Like he's highly entertaining. Like if you look at videos of him online, the way he interacts with the press, with journalists, with everything, he's highly entertaining and highly fun to be around and highly controversial. But his style of football is a bit haram ball. He likes to park the bus defense, a bit old school Italian style of football. That is a fact. But like it or not, even though if I don't really like his style of play, he has a lot of fucking success, Jose Mourinho, and he remains one of the greatest managers of all time. One of the great, probably like top 10. I mean, Pep Guardiola is better than him. Enrique, Jurgen Klopp, maybe not Jurgen Klopp, it's up for debate, but Jose Mourinho remains one of the greatest managers of all time, like or not, that's a fact. And Real Madrid right now, with the situation they're in, they need Jose Mourinho, man. Only him can save them. Okay, guys, before I get into this, let me just finish my Red Bull because Piers Morgan really fucking busted my balls with everything that he said recently, but fuck, man. Okay, so guys, recently, so of course, when the season ends, so far, Arsenal have played well. Declan Rice has played well, and many other players who are up for the Ballon d'Or. So far, they're saying that Harry Kane is going to win the Ballon d'Or, but maybe now, since Bayern Munich didn't qualify for the Champions League final, maybe now it's up for debate. But also, let me remind you guys, every single year that where there is the World Cup is always a big factor and is the decisive factor for who's going to win the World Cup. It's always been like that, and it will always be like that. The Ballon d'Or, if it's in the same year as the World Cup is always the biggest factor and the decisive factor for who's winning the Ballon d'Or this year. So far, with everything that's happened, Piers Morgan said, and this is highly fucking crazy, but those words came out of his mouth. He said that Declan Rice should win the Ballon d'Or. Declan Rice. Declanrice. Declan Rice should win the Ballon d'Or. Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking mentally unstable? What are you talking about? Imagine living in a world where Declan Rice has a Ballon d'Or and Iniesta and Xavi don't. What the actual fuck? Of course, circumstances and times at the period they played, at the time they played, of course, but still, living in a world where Declan Rice, the guy from England, the defensive midfielder Declan Rice? What the fuck are we talking about right now? Declan Rice winning a Ballon d'Or? Are we fucking crazy? I should deserve more the Ballon d'Or than Declan Rice, and I never played professionally. Declan Rice. Piers Morgan, I understand you're English. I understand Arsenal is your team. But you're not fucking 12 years old. You're like fucking 60 years old. Be unbiased. What do you mean Declan Rice? What the actual fuck? If somehow, of course it's not going to happen, if somehow Declan Rice wins the Ballon d'Or, I will never ever watch football again. I will never ever commentate on football again. And I will just stop, I'll do like I never knew nothing about football. I'll never talk about it anymore. I'll do like football never had a big part in my life. Because what do you mean Declan Rice deserves to win the Ballon d'Or? Even if you have I'm pretty sure, let me put it this way. I'm pretty sure Declan Rice's relatives, family members, they wouldn't have the audacity to say, you know what, my cousin or my brother, Declan Rice, should win the Ballon d'Or. Because even that is fucking crazy. Even if Declan Rice was my brother and I loved him more than anything in the world, even then I would be like, yo, Declan Rice, broski, I fucking love you. You know how much I love you. You're my brother. But broski, I cannot say that you deserve to win the Ballon d'Or. That's kind of actually fucking crazy. But yes, you are fucking Declan Rice. I hope you win the Champions League. I hope you win the league. I even hope you win the World Cup with England, even though it's never going to happen. But say Declan Rice should win the Ballon d'Or. That's just fucking crazy. Like Piers Morgan, I don't know why you commentate so much on football. I feel like you never really watch football and don't really like football, because everything that comes out of your mouth related football is pure dog shit. Like, it makes no sense and everyone makes fun of it and everyone says how fucking dumb it is. But hey, maybe if you feel like it's fucking smart, I don't fucking know, but it's really fucking retarded. And you should just stop fucking talking about football, man, because Declan Rice winning a Ballon d'Or makes no sense. First of all, he's not going to win the Champions League. He might win the league, but even if he wins the league, who cares? And he won't win the Champions League. PSG are going to win it. And in the World Cup, I mean, England, they have a really good team. Really a team with stacked star players. Let's not lie, it's a fact. But they have zero chance, not zero, let's be realistic. They have 5% chances of winning the World Cup, England. 5% chances. And I'm being fucking generous right now. I'm being really generous right now. They have 5% chances of winning their World Cup, England. It will never happen. They'll never win the World Cup. They won it once at like 69 or 68, 1968. I'm not sure. I forgot which year. But they'll never win it again. It's impossible. Even that year, like the year they won it was probably like a fluke. Something happened. The cameras were off. So there's no like proof of anything. And they just fucking gave it to England. Something of that sort. But they'll never win it. And that's just crazy. And like I said, the person who will win this year's Ballon d'Or will be the person who will perform the best at the World Cup. Lionel, Andres, Messi, Cusitini. If Messi wins this World Cup and he's the best player, and if he wins the Ballon d'Or, oh my Lord, I will make fun of my Ronaldo fans so fucking much. My friends who are Ronaldo fans, every single time that they will hang out with me, every single time that they will either call me, text me, every single time when they will be in my vicinity, I will remind them the difference regarding everything in football, regarding Messi and Ronaldo. Holy fucking shit. Let's hope it happens. Messi has 8 Ballon d'Ors. And like I said so many times, only 8 because he deserves to have like fucking 12 Ballon d'Ors. But hey, we all know who Messi is, so I'm not too pissed off that he only has 8. But still, he should have fucking 13 Ballon d'Ors. But if that can happen, man, oh my God, bro, I'm gonna be, imagine Piers Morgan, man. He's gonna do a podcast with Ronaldo, and they're gonna fucking start talking about, oh, you know what, in my opinion, I'm still the best player in the world. Yes, Ronaldo, you are. I don't know, man, anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I just gave up. I'm gonna let them be who they are. Let Ronaldo fans live in their own illusion. Let Ronaldo live in his illusion. Let Piers Morgan live in his illusion. We all know who Messi is. Again, something else that Piers Morgan said that I wanted to cut my ears off and my eyes so that I can never hear anymore what he has to say, and I can never ever read again what he has to say regarding football. He said, and I'm quoting him, he said it on Twitter, I'm fucking quoting him. Messi doesn't even make my all-time World 11. Assuming peak performance, this is my team. Banks in goal, Cafu, Baresi, Maldini, Carlos in defense, Zidane, Matias, Ronaldinho, and Maradona in midfield, Cristiano Ronaldo and Ronaldo Fenomeno up front. Like, how, Piers Morgan, how can you tweet this publicly? Like, not in a group chat with your friends, not just fucking around, but you literally taking your phone, writing the tweet, and you're like, yeah, I just fucking cooked right now. Like, while you're writing it in your mind, you're like, yo, I'm such a fucking genius, man. Like, holy, yo, this is gonna slap, man. You, like, people don't understand, like, I'm such a fucking footballing genius. And then, not only do you have the audacity to write it, but then you have the audacity to click on post. Like, post. And then you go home to your wife, you sit on your couch, you're like, honey, I'm such a fucking genius, man. Like, fuck. Piers Morgan, please, I want to have your level of self-confidence when it comes to writing or saying such stupid things regarding Messi and football. What do you fucking mean? Messi doesn't even make my all-time World 11. Assuming peak performance, this is my team. Let's forget defense, but so you put Zidane, Matias, Ronaldinho, Maradona before Messi? Matias? Huh? Okay, Zidane, Matias, Ronaldinho, Maradona, okay. Fuck, like, it's up for debate because, like I said, Messi, Ronaldinho, Maradona are the three greatest players of all time. But Zidane and Matias, I'm better than those two. What do you mean Zidane and Matias? That's actually just fucking crazy. And then to say, okay, I'm going to put Cristiano Ronaldo and Ronaldo phenomenal, but I'm not going to put Messi. Huh? What the actual fuck, bro? I'm tweaking right now. What do you mean? How can you, like, I got to do a podcast with Piers Morgan. Not, like, I don't even... Like, I don't even want the clout from Piers Morgan. I don't even want to post. Don't even post it. I just want to see him in real life and literally just have 10 minutes with him. So I know it's actual, just true. Sit down with him and say, broski, please tell me honestly. Because I'm tweaking right now. Don't tell me you're serious right now. Like, I want to look him in the eye and I just want to see what's the rationality behind it. I'm going to take out a paper and a pen. I'm going to say rationally, write it down for me how Messi isn't, first of all, the greatest player of all time. And then rationally explain to me how he doesn't make your world 11. What the actual... I don't know, man. This guy, man. Hey, I just fucking can't take it anymore. But hey, guys, that was it for football. So let's do a little bit of personal growth and philosophy. Okay, so guys, recently I was talking with some people, some friends, and even some colleagues. And it's always sad when I see people not believing in themselves to a certain degree. Of course, it happens to everyone from time to time, day to day. You doubt yourself. You question your life. You question your actions. You question your future, where you're going, what you're doing, what your future is going to look like. But at the end of the day, man, you should, first of all, love yourself more than anyone. If, of course, you don't have kids. But if you don't have kids, you should love yourself more than anyone. And you should always think about yourself in the highest regard that you can. And always believe in yourself and in your dreams, and always aim for everything that you have in your mind and everything that you have in your soul that you want to accomplish. Aim as high as you fucking can. Because like I said it so many times, and to all my friends, my family relatives, my cousins, my brother, whoever it may be, you only have one fucking life. And some people, not everyone is hyper ambitious. Some people have less ambition. Some people, not to say less ambitions, but have different ambitions. But at the end of the day, like I said, it doesn't have to be money, fame, whatever. Whatever your ambitions are, no matter how crazy they might seem, no matter how small they might seem, no matter how big they might seem, no matter what they are, if those are your ambitions, if you purely, from your soul and your heart, you purely want to accomplish those goals, go for it and never fucking stop, because you only have one fucking life. You're going to die one day. I'm going to die one day. And when you're going to die, no one's going to give a fuck about you anymore. I don't care who you are. When Elvis Presley died, 2 days later, no one gave a fuck. When Michael Jackson, the most famous guy since fucking Jesus Christ, when he died 3 days ago, 3 days after, no one gave a fuck anymore. Why? Because at the end of the day, people just don't give a fuck. Like in the movie Ted, in the beginning, the introduction, when the narrator says, no matter how big you become, no matter who you become, no matter what you accomplish, at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. And that is a fact. No one cares. So stop living your life for others. Stop accepting the barriers that other people put in your mind. Like I said, you only have one life. Live it for yourself. Whatever your ambitions are, whatever your goals are, simple as that. Those are your goals. Those are your ambitions. So you're going to chase your goals, your ambitions, not the goals and not the ambitions that your parents have for you, not the goals, the ambitions, and the dreams that your friends limit you to, your relatives, whatever your own ambitions, dreams, and goals are, go for them and never fucking stop, and always believe in yourself. Because believe me, the people who accomplished all these great things that you want to accomplish, they remain human beings. They're not special. They're not perfect. They're not like these creatures from space that they're gifted and chosen by God. If they can do it, they're normal human beings just like you. They wake up in the morning, they shit, they brush their teeth, whatever. We're all the same. We're all human beings. If they can accomplish it, you can accomplish it. Now, don't get it twisted. When I'm saying that everyone can accomplish their dreams and we can all accomplish great things, yes, but you have to put in a lot of fucking work. It's really fucking hard. You need a lot of patience, a lot of persistence, and you must never ever give up, because the people who did it, yes, like I said, they are human. They're not perfect. They are imperfect. But it doesn't mean that they didn't put in a lot of fucking work. They didn't work really hard, and they weren't really driven and really hyper ambitious, hyper focused, and hyper resilient to rejection and to failure. It's really fucking important. But to all my friends, my colleagues, my relatives, and even people watching this who I don't even know, whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, whatever your ambitions are, no matter what they are, to have kids, to have a successful career, to live somewhere else, to live in Italy, to move from somewhere else, whatever they are, go for it, and don't care what other people say. Just because your parents have this happens to many people, and thank God it didn't happen to me. My parents, regarding me and Luca, they're always really like, it's your life. You choose your path. You choose your life. You choose your career. You choose your goals. You choose if you want to keep going to school, if you want to drop out of school and go work, whatever. They always gave us that freedom. But at the same time, they are our parents, so they always gave us advice. My dad or my mom, whenever I would ask them for advice, they will always say, in my opinion, it's better if you stay in school, get a degree, and then go get an MBA, master's, whatever. But at the end of the day, they never forced me in a way. I mean, parents can never truly force their kids, especially once they're like 18, 19, 20. They can never really truly force them. But you know what I mean? Not force them, but some parents are more, how can I say this, heavy than other parents when it comes to the life that their own kids are going to have. So my parents never forced me to do anything. They never forced me to go to school, to university. They never forced me to get a job as a car salesman. They never forced me to have a podcast or to keep doing podcast episodes. They never forced me to go to the gym. They never forced me to play soccer. But they did always encourage me and motivate me and try to tell me that going to the gym is really fucking good. It's cool. You get in shape. You feel good, healthy. Your health is really good. Health is wealth. Mentally, you'll feel better. Physically, you'll look better. You'll feel better. Also, physically, you'll be healthier. They would always tell me the good aspects of going to the gym, and they would encourage me and push me to go to the gym. But at the end of the day, if I decide to quit the gym, yes, my dad is going to tell me, yo, don't quit the gym, keep going to the gym, never give up, never give up. But he's not going to force me and say, oh, if you quit the gym, you can't live here anymore. He's not going to say that. He's still going to be my dad, love me and whatever, but he's always going to push me to do more and more. Just like with school, with university. If I wanted to, I could have dropped out whenever I wanted and got in a 9-to-5 full-time job. But he always encouraged me to go to school. It's really good for university and everything. And then me taking his advice, me taking my own advice, thinking about it logically. Okay, yeah, I'm going to finish my degree and then get a job and whatever. So that's why, like I said, no matter what your parents have planned for you, and some parents, like I said, I have some friends who their parents are really like, they don't give liberty to their kids, and they like decide, some of my friends have parents that their parents decide their lives for them, even at the age of like 25. And actually, I think that's really fucking crazy. And in my opinion, I mean, if you're 25, you can cut off your parents whenever you want. You're a full-grown adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not only at 25, at 18, at 19, at 20, at 35, at 33, whenever. Once you're an adult, a fully developed adult, no one can tell you what you do. No one can tell you what to do. It's your own life. You have your own free will, so you do whatever you want. So whatever your goals and your dreams and your ambitions are, even if your parents don't believe in you, even if your parents don't see it happening for you, even if your friends, your relatives, your cousins, your colleagues, your neighbors, the fucking dog across the street, even if no one believes in it, if deep down in your heart and in your soul, you truly believe in it and you know that it's truly what you want and that it's truly your passion and you're ready to sacrifice whatever it takes to sacrifice in order to achieve it, go all for it. It's your life. No one can live your life for you. And at the end of the day, when you're going to die, you're the one who's going to die. Not all these other people who had these other plans for you. They're not necessarily going to die. You're going to be the one who's going to stop living, going to be dead, and you're not going to be able to accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish. So at least when you're alive, live your life on your own terms and live your life how you want to live it. I'm not saying don't take any advice. That's not what I'm saying. Always take smart people. Don't, like I always said, don't take advice. Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from, right? So there's always that. Don't necessarily take advice from everyone and anyone, but we all have people that we respect. Like for me, it's my parents. I respect them a lot. My brother, some other public figures that I respect a lot. So of course, I'm gonna take everyone's advice. But at the end of the day, I'm the one taking the decision regarding my life. I'm the one making the decision. But always keep an open mind. You hear advice from him, from your friend, a friend you respect and you love, your parents, your brother, your colleagues, your friends, a public figure you respect, someone highly famous and successful that you respect. You take advice from every single one of them, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide which advice you're going to take. Maybe you're going to mix two advices and then get your own piece of advice. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide how you're going to live your life, which trajectory you're going to dictate your life, and everything you want to chase and to accomplish. It's up to you to decide. Like I said, you only have one life, and if you only have one life and life goes by so fucking quickly, why not live it being as joyful and as happy as you can, right? You only have one life, so fucking go to the fullest to be as joyful and as happy as you can. And I believe that the best way for someone to be joyful and happy, to be truly joyful and truly happy and truly grateful, is to live life on their own terms, which means you do what you like to do and you chase your passions and you pursue your passions and you do what you like to do. That is what I believe will bring you true happiness and true joy, is by doing and chasing your passions and doing your passions every single day. We all have different passions. We're all different. We all have different skill sets. We all have different negative aspects and positive aspects about ourselves, which is normal. No one is perfect. But when you chase your passions, when you do what you love to do, that is when I feel like we are the most joyful, the happiest, and the most grateful. And whilst we only have one life and it's really short, live it to the max. And never care what other people have to say. Of course, everyone's going to have an opinion. It's just normal human nature to have an opinion regarding many things. Like, I'm a podcaster, right? I do solo commentating, so I've also have my opinions. But at the end of the day, if you have your dreams and people are trying to bring it down or trying to rationalize to you that your dreams aren't possible and that it's never going to be possible, don't think about it. Knock it off. If in your mind, if you can dream it, you can accomplish it. If you can dream it, if you can see it, if you can envision it, and if you can dream it, you can do it. That's always been a big quote throughout the world that Walt Disney said once, and it's really popular, and I believe it, and I feel like everyone should have that same mentality. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, you should have that mentality. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about masculinity. So recently on social media, I see it a lot, even in my own entourage regarding colleagues, friends, or just my entourage here and living in Gatineau. Not all guys, not many guys, but I hear many guys saying that their masculinity is under attack and that because of society and how society is, they're not allowed to be who they truly are. They're not allowed to fully express themselves, and they don't feel comfortable or safe to be who they truly are in their masculine era. First of all, no one can control you, right? You can be whoever you want to be, but by you being whoever you want to be, by doing actions and being whoever you want to be, there are consequences, either positive or negative. When you truly allow yourself to be authentically who you are without giving a fuck what society is going to think about you, of course, not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to love you. If you're a guy who wants to be loved by everyone all the time, then you're always going to be fake. Because if you're truly authentically who you are and truly always authentic and always truly being real, how can everyone like you, right? How can everyone love you and like you? So that's why if you're someone who's always seeking people's validation and their acceptance, and you always want to be loved by everyone and cherished by everyone, you will be a prisoner in your own mind, because you'll always seek other people's opinion and their validation. And since we're all different, like I said, some people love Donald Trump, some hate him, right? Why? Because we're all different. Some people love the way he is because those certain people who love him, they're different regarding some aspects of life than the people who hate him, right? They're different. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump, hate him or love him, at the end of the day, he should always remain who he is. Same goes for you. Even if people hate you, even if some love you, some hate you, if you respect yourself and you're happy with being yourself, always be authentically who you are. That should always be how it is. So for you to say that society isn't allowing you to be who you truly are, then you're just weak-minded and you care too much what society has to say about you and what other people have to say about you, and you care too much about other people's opinion. Always be authentically who you are and don't give a fuck. Some people are going to love you. Some people are going to hate you. It is what it is, right? And especially if you want to be like a public figure in front of the camera doing content or being whatever, then of course you have to be authentically who you are, because you cannot fake it for a lot of time. You have to be authentically who you are. But in order for you to become famous, there has to be people who hate you as much as there will be people who love you. Let's take Jake Paul, right? Highly famous, a big following. If you look at all his comments, it's a lot of fucking hate comments. A lot of hate comments. But at the end of the day, he is who he is. He's making millions of dollars. He's always proud with being who he authentically is. He's always proud of himself, and he does whatever he wants to do because he doesn't care about other people's validation or acceptance. And that's why he's only listening to his voice, and he's only walking his own path without letting other people interfere with it. That's why hate him or love him, he's making millions of dollars, he's accomplishing all of his dreams, and he's living life on his own terms, and he's doing whatever he wants to do. And that is something that we must respect from him. We must respect it because not many people have the balls and have the audacity to do what he's doing with his life, and that is living it on his own terms without any fear of rejection from society and without any fear of failure or hate from other people. Like I said, if you look at his fucking comments, they're all always bashing him, and they've always been bashing the Paul brothers. And that's just an example. There's many other people. Mayweather used to get a lot of hate. Ronaldo gets a fucking lot of hate from me and from other people. Messi, that is what it is. So that's why you should never give a fuck what other people say, and always be yourself. Always, no matter who you are, no matter, even if you go somewhere and you feel like the vibe of that room and the vibe of those people are different than yours, don't be fake just so you get accepted from them. Be who you are. Be real. If they like you, good. You have new friends. If they don't like you, well, fuck off. Who gives a fuck? You're gonna find other friends. You're gonna find other people who like you. And by you being truly who you are and authentically who you are, you will attract real people around you, and you will attract the right people for you. That is what's going to happen. So by you being authentic and by you being real, it's only pros and there's no cons to it. And also talking about masculinity, let me tell you guys what is one of the gayest things I ever heard a man say. And it's the following. They quote, "I wish I had it as easy as women." Whenever I hear a guy say, "Oh, I wish I had it as easy as a woman has it," that's highly fucking gay. I understand where you're coming from, and you're talking about a certain percentage of women who are really beautiful and that they get to go on private jets, on cruise ships, on yachts, and live the best life by doing nothing. You're talking about them, but even then, you're a fucking guy. Why the fuck would you want to have the life of a woman? That's really fucking gay to have that opinion. "Oh, I wish I had it as easy as women have it." That's highly fucking, you're a guy. It's not the same. That is really fucking gay. Or guys who say, or guys who complain always that women have it way easier than us. Well, yeah, they're women. They are women. But at the end of the day, even if women have it easier than us, do they really have it easier than us? They're the ones who get pregnant. They're the ones who have periods. They're the ones who are more subject to higher violent crimes and to rape and to whatever else. Like, there's so many different aspects if we go more precisely in everything else that there is in life. I personally would never trade my life with a woman's life. Never, ever. I would never, as much as maybe the highly, highly beautiful woman, maybe as much as they do have it easy, like Megan Fox or whoever, I would still never trade my life from being a straight man to being a woman. Never, ever. I don't give a fuck how easy they have it. Again, when I say that they have it easy, me personally, I'm saying it with quotes. Like, do they really have it more easy? In my opinion, they don't. But the guys who say that they do, I understand which logic they're using and where they're coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it. But I would never ever trade my position with a woman. If you're a guy and you're like, oh, I wish I had the life of a woman. I wish I had it as easy as a woman. That's highly gay, broski. That's a really fucking gay take. And that's highly gay from yourself. And that's probably one of the gayest takes I ever heard a man say. That is my fucking opinion. Yo, Matt, es-tu là? Fait combien de temps je roule? Ah, ok, parfait. Ok, mal finir, là, il me reste pas beaucoup. Okay, so guys, many times I talked about politics and multiculturalism and nationalism. Let me just say how I see it on surface level. I'm not going to go too deep into it because that itself could be a podcast for 1 hour. But in general, I've always been in the middle. There is room for nationalism, but there also must be room for multiculturalism, especially in North America. Like it or not, you know how they say in North America, in a way, everyone is an immigrant, which is true. Even the white settlers who have been here for hundreds of years, even they naturally come from Europe, right? So of course, there's always been room for multiculturalism. America was built on different ethnicities coming to America and then helping America become what it is. Italian Americans, Irish Americans, African Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans. They all played a part in making America what it is right now, or even Canada, right? With the Canadians, French Canadians, English Canadians, Italian Canadians, Serbian Canadians, Arab Canadians, Black Canadians, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, North America is in a way built on multiculturalism. But at the same time, let's not forget that the reason Canada is as beautiful and as great of a country that it is because it's founded by WASPs, right? So is America. America, yes, it was, like I said, multiculturalism played a big part. But at the end of the day, the people who founded America, who wrote the Constitution for America and Canada, it was WASPs. It was white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. That is a fact. Hate on them all you want. They created America. They wrote the Constitution, and they fought against the British to free America. But then, yes, after that, they brought slaves, which were from Africa. They built America in a way, like not only them, but they did play a part in building America. So did Italian Americans, so did Irish Americans, and so did all these other ethnicities in North America. That is a fact. But let's not forget what makes Canada and America so great is that it's built on WASP values and WASP government, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants coming from England. That is a fact. Now, this is what I mean by middle ground. If you come here from another country, just like my parents did, if you're going to come here and want to make it the same as the country where you came from, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you even come here, right? Isn't that even just logical? I'm not even saying this out of hate. I don't even have hate. But if you're a Serbian or any other place, Algeria, Colombia, Italy, Japan, Afghanistan, or wherever, if you go away from that country because that country didn't necessarily give you all the needs that you needed, and then you immigrate to Canada and America for a better life, and then after a certain period of time, you're trying to make Canada be like Afghanistan or be like Serbia or whatever, I mean, logically, why did you even leave, right? So you must accept that, like it or not, when you move to Canada, there must be a certain level of assimilation. There must be. I'm not saying that you must now fucking hate your own music, hate your own food, hate your own traditions. No, but respect the law, respect Canadian life, respect Canadian mentality, respect American mentality, American way of life, and respect the Western philosophy. Because like it or not, especially for people who immigrate to Canada, America from a non-Western country like Serbia, like Algeria, like Congo, like Kazakhstan, like China, whatever, Western mentality is different. It is different. It's a fact. It is different. So if you, with your own actions, move to a Western country, like it or not, you must fucking assimilate to their values. But at the same time, we here who have been here, who are born here, or even these like naturally white Canadians and white Americans, in a way, yes, there must also be a certain level of acceptance from these other cultures because they are coming here in search of a better life. Most of them are simply coming here for a better life, and they want better life for their kids and their future generations. And most of them do, in a certain degree, assimilate and respect and love Canadian and American way of life, Canadian American government, and everything else. Most of them are very acceptant, tolerant, and very nice when it comes. But there is a percentage of people, of immigrants, who do come here and want to change it, and who are radicals. It is a fact. I mean, hate me for saying it, but it is a fact that there are immigrants coming from non-Western countries into Western countries and wanting to completely change it, and who are radicals. If you don't accept that fact because you feel like I'm targeting your group, then you're just being emotional and you can't see it for what it is, because it's a fucking fact, right? Those radicals, first of all, it's never going to happen. The Western world will always be the Western world, and the reason why the Western world is so beautiful, is so prosperous, is because it has a Western mentality, which is innovation and everything else, humanities and everything else, right? Democracy, liberty, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, the pursuit of happiness, and everything else which makes the Western world, right? But like I said, I've always been in the middle, right? There should always be room for accepting new ethnicities, being tolerant of new immigrants, new arrivals, new ethnicities. But at the same time, these new ethnicities, these new immigrants, they also must have a certain level of respect and assimilation to their new country and their new culture. That's also a fact. So like I said, it's a mix of both. There must be a certain level of acceptance and tolerance from these non-immigrants, and there must be a certain level of assimilation from these immigrants. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go precisely into every detail and every aspect of society and then go precisely, how much do they respect politics, how much do they respect food, clothing, and everything else. But speaking in general, they should meet in the middle and have a certain level of respect, because one needs the other and the other needs the other one. They all go together, and we can all benefit a lot from each other, and we can only make our country better and better if we can find middle ground between accepting new ethnicities, accepting these new immigrants, letting them have a beautiful and prosperous life, but at the same time, these new immigrants respecting the new country they immigrated to, and having a certain level of assimilation. When I say assimilation, I'm not saying, okay, you're not allowed to speak your language. Me at home, I speak Serbian, and Serbian is my mother tongue. It's always been the language I spoke at home. But I'm not going to go outside and try to change the laws and make everyone speak Serbian, right? Now I'm going to the extremes. Of course, no Serbian ever talked about it, but it's just an example. I'm going to the extremes so you guys understand what I'm talking about. So of course, there should be a mix of both and a middle ground for both, in my opinion. And like I said, when it comes to especially politics and business, the middle ground, especially between humans, the middle ground has always been the best way to go on about things. Because like it or not, North America was built in a way by immigrants or by settlers, as we can say. So like it or not, it is a fact. But also at the same time, it was founded by a certain group of immigrants, which are WASPs. And then after that, of course, they brought immigration. Italian Americans, Irish, African Americans, and everything else. And they did play a part in making America so beautiful and making America what it is right now, and also Canada what it is right now. So that is also a fact. So that's why I feel like a middle ground is the perfect way to go on about things. And never blame anyone else or anything else regarding your life and your current life situation. We all have this tendency of, when something's bad happening in our lives, of blaming others, blaming something else, blaming, oh, but you know what? I live in this country. I can't do this. Oh, but you know what? If it wasn't for that person, I would have been here. I would have been him. I would have been doing this. At the end of the day, I know it's easy to say and it's harder to practice, but at the end of the day, if we say it how it is, to have the best mentality, you should never, ever blame others and never, ever blame other situations or anything else for your current situation. Always have the possibility to man up and say it how it is and say, you know what? I could be performing better here and there in this spheres of my life. So let me get better. But never ever blame others for anything else. And in my opinion, the more you blame and the more you complain, I feel like the more reasons life will give you to blame and to complain. That is how I see it. But the more grateful you are and the more joyful you are, the more reasons life will give you to be joyful and happy. That is how I see it. In a way, it's like a boomerang effect, I guess you can say it. The more you complain and the more you put complaint out in the world and the more you put blame out in the world, the more the world and life will give you reasons to complain and to blame others for. But the more joyful you are and the happy you are and the more grateful you are regarding life and regarding your own life and just regarding every other situation that makes your life, the more reasons that then life will gift you with more reasons for you to be grateful and happy and joyful. It's like I said, I feel like it's a boomerang effect in my opinion. And let me end the episode with this final quote from Marcus Aurelius. And he said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Don't focus so much on other people's lives. It's their lives. You can't save them. You're not Superman. If they don't want to help themselves, no one can help them. If they don't want to make their lives better, no one can make their lives better for themselves. And also, as much as you can love that person, you cannot control that person. That person has free will, so you cannot control his or her actions, and you cannot control what they're going to do. But one thing that you can control is what you're going to do and your actions. So that's why in the things that you can control and in the things that you have the possibility of improving and making better, that is why you should be highly, highly strict with yourself so that you have the best possible life in this short period of time that we are on Earth. So that was it, guys, for this episode. Peace out.